Welcome everyone. Today we embark on a journey through a story that has stood the test of time. It's a tale that has been told and retold, yet its essence remains as relevant as ever. Gather around as we delve into the depths of a fable that speaks to the very core of human experience. Today, we're going deep into a story we all know. It's a narrative that has been passed down through generations, a story that resonates with both young and old. This tale, though simple on the surface, carries profound wisdom and insights that are applicable to our everyday lives. It's the fable of the fox and the grapes. A story that, at first glance, might seem like just a children's tale, but it holds a mirror to our own behaviors and attitudes. The fox, in its quest for the seemingly unattainable grapes, teaches us about desire, frustration, and the coping mechanisms we employ when faced with disappointment. This story is old, but the lessons are as fresh as ever. The timeless nature of this fable lies in its ability to transcend the ages, offering insights that are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. The fox's journey is a reflection of our own struggles and the ways we rationalize our failures. We're going to see how it helps us deal with rejection. Rejection is a universal experience, one that we all encounter at various points in our lives. Whether it's in our personal relationships, professional endeavors, or creative pursuits, the sting of rejection can be deeply felt. But through this fable, we can learn to navigate these challenging moments with grace and resilience. Because let's be honest, rejection is a part of life. It's an inevitable aspect of the human experience. No matter how hard we try, there will be times when we fall short, when our efforts are not recognized, or when our dreams seem out of reach. But it's in these moments of rejection that we have the opportunity to grow and learn. This isn't just some cute animal story. It's a profound commentary on the human condition. The fox's reaction to the unattainable grapes is a metaphor for our own responses to failure and disappointment. It's a reminder that our attitudes and perceptions shape our reality. It's about how we see the world when we don't get what we want. Our perspective in the face of adversity can either limit us or propel us forward. The fox's story encourages us to reflect on our own reactions and to find healthier, more constructive ways to cope with life's challenges. So, get ready to think differently about those tough moments. As we explore this timeless tale, let's open our minds to new ways of understanding and dealing with rejection. Let's embrace the lessons of the fox and the grapes and use them to transform our own experiences of disappointment into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Picture this. A hungry fox is wandering. He spots the most delicious-looking grapes hanging high on a vine. They're plump, they're juicy, they're calling his name. He jumps and leaps again and again, but those grapes, out of reach. Defeated, the fox walks away. And what does he mutter to himself? Those grapes were probably sour anyway. This, my friends, is classic sour grapes. The term comes from Aesop's fable, where a fox, unable to reach some high-hanging grapes, decides they are probably sour and not worth having. It's a defense mechanism we all use. It's what we tell ourselves when we can't have something. We convince ourselves that what we wanted wasn't that great to begin with. This way, we protect ourselves from the sting of disappointment. Instead of saying, "I'm disappointed," we say, "It wasn't that great anyway." This mental trick helps us cope with failure and rejection. It's easier to dismiss something as unimportant than to face the pain of not achieving it. We protect our egos by pretending we didn't really want it in the first place. This way, we can maintain our self-esteem and avoid feeling inadequate. It's a natural response, but it can also prevent us from learning and growing. Think about it. Have you ever talked yourself out of something by finding faults? Maybe you convinced yourself that a job you didn't get wasn't the right fit, or that a person you were interested in wasn't all that attractive anyway. Maybe a job you didn't get wasn't the right fit, but deep down, you know you really wanted it. It's easier to say it wasn't meant to be than to face the reality of rejection. Or perhaps a person you were interested in wasn't all that attractive anyway. But in truth, you were really hoping for a connection. By dismissing them, you protect yourself from the vulnerability of wanting something you can't have. It's important to recognize this pattern in ourselves. By acknowledging our true feelings, we can better understand our desires and motivations. This self-awareness can lead to personal growth and help us pursue our goals more authentically. So next time you catch yourself saying, "I didn't really want it anyway," take a moment to reflect. Are you protecting yourself from disappointment, or is there a deeper truth you're avoiding? Embrace your true feelings and use them to fuel your journey forward. Let's bring this fable into our everyday lives. Imagine this. You poured your heart into a project at work. You were passionate, you were dedicated, but it gets rejected. The sour grapes reaction? It wasn't a big deal anyway. Or maybe you put yourself out there, went on a date and felt a spark. But they didn't feel the same way. Sour grapes. They were moving too slow anyway. Sound familiar? We've all been there. Section 5. The envy trap. Here's the thing about sour grapes. It often stems from envy. We see someone else with something we want, success, recognition, love, and we feel this pang of jealousy. It's natural, but envy can be toxic if we let it fester. Envy thrives on comparison. We start focusing on what we lack instead of what we have. We belittle others' achievements to make ourselves feel better, but it's a hollow victory. Section 6. Breaking free tips for overcoming envy and rejection. So how do we escape the sour grapes trap? Envy and rejection are emotions that can weigh heavily on our hearts and minds. They can cloud our judgment and make us feel less than we are. But there are ways to break free from these negative feelings. How do we deal with rejection and envy in a healthy way? It's important to recognize that these feelings are natural and everyone experiences them at some point. The key is not to let them control us. Here are a few thoughts. First, acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel disappointed or envious. These emotions are part of being human. 1. Don't bottle up disappointment. Talk to someone you trust about how you're feeling. Sharing your emotions can help you process them and gain perspective. It's okay to feel sad, frustrated, even angry. Acknowledge those emotions. They are valid and part of your journey. 2. When you catch yourself thinking, "It wasn't that great anyway," stop. This is a defense mechanism to protect yourself from feeling hurt. Instead, face the reality of your emotions. Ask yourself, is that really true, or am I just protecting myself? Be honest with yourself about your feelings and the situation. 3. Instead of dwelling on what you don't have, appreciate what you do. Focus on the positive aspects of your life and the things you are grateful for. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to envy. When you take the time to appreciate the good things in your life, it can shift your perspective and reduce feelings of envy. Remember, overcoming envy and rejection is a process. It takes time and effort, but with the right mindset and strategies, you can break free from these negative emotions and live a more fulfilling life. Section 7. Turning rejection into growth. Rejection stings. There's no getting around it, but it doesn't have to define us. In fact, we can use it as fuel for growth. Think of rejection as redirection. Maybe that job wasn't the right fit, and something even better is around the corner. Maybe that relationship wasn't meant to be, and you're now free to find someone who truly appreciates you. Section 8. Your turn. Reflecting on rejection. Let's take a moment to reflect. Think about a time when you experienced rejection. How did you react? Did you find yourself reaching for the sour grapes? It's okay to be honest with yourself. We all do it sometimes. The important thing is to learn from those experiences and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Section 9. Embracing resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, wins and losses. Resilience is key. It's about bouncing back from setbacks, learning from our mistakes, and coming out stronger on the other side. Remember the fox? He didn't let one failed attempt stop him from seeking out food. He kept going. And so should we. So the next time you're faced with rejection, don't reach for the sour grapes. Embrace the opportunity for growth. You've got this.